Hello, good day. So in this video I'll be going through a few things that I don't particularly like about this bike. These few things I find annoying. They're not a big deal, but so far owning this bike, these are the few things that I find annoying. So first, as I probably explained before, is got to do with this section here. The first three. The first part is where the position of the horn and the indicator. Most of the bikes, in my experience of riding bikes, is that it's the other way around, whereby the indicator is where the horn is supposed to be. So that's the first thing. Second thing is where the traction control toggle is. The traction control toggle is located where I believe the passing light should be, the high beam light, where you need to flash people when you want to make a pass or something. So I think that should be where the passing light is. It's an awkward position right now where it's actually weird to press the passing light here compared to up here, if you can see where I'm pointing at. So third of all, in this area here on its own, is the quality of the buttons. I bought this bike for it to last for a long time, so I need everything to last for a long time. So when in the showroom, before picking up this bike, it was side by side to the Honda CB650R, which is the big brother. So that bike, I saw one of the obvious differences is the quality of the toggle. You can see here, this is like a shiny plastic kind of look, whereby the other bike, the Honda CB1000R, has much more matte finish, whereby the feel is just higher quality. I believe that is a high quality product. This is made in Thailand, assembled Thailand, whereas the CB1000R is assembled and made in Japan. So obviously you'd expect some quality difference, but you know, I wish they could make that part the same. It's just different plastics. Another thing I find annoying about this bike is the false neutral. It's really easy to get a false neutral out of this bike. So if you put it in first, put it in second, I can see that it's like there's a little bit of stickiness. It's not much of an issue here when you're stopped, but it will be an issue if you are making a U-turn and you want to change gears from second to first, because you didn't realize that you're on second, but you actually need to be on first. So in the middle of a U-turn, if suddenly there is a need to downshift and it gets a bit sticky, that is where it catches you off guard, and suddenly you have no power and you end up revving the engine instead of getting some power for you to get some balance and go. So that is something that I find annoying. Maybe that's just me, but it just requires a little bit of getting used to riding this bike. So that was the fourth thing about the false neutral that I experienced before a couple of times. Caught me off guard. Not fun, man. Woohoo! I love revving this bike, but above 6,000 RPMs, it gets a little bit buzzy. After a while I get used to it, but I'd like it to be a bit smoother, if you know what I mean. It's just the character of the engine, but my preference is that I want it to be a bit smoother, like this. I want it to be, you know, a little bit more buttery at 6,000 RPMs and above, which is not. That goes my fifth annoying thing I find about this bike. It's a great bike, you can rev it, but it's just happier under 6,000 RPMs, which I'm okay with, because I don't intend to push this bike very hard anyway. It's a daily bike with some weekend use. Should be riding that fast all the time anyway. So that's item number 5. Number 6, which is my last thing that I find annoying about this bike, is the brake feel. Not the brake bite, the brake feel. I feel that there's some insulation in terms of the feel of the brakes of the bike. So when you press in the brakes, it is not linear. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I prefer to get more feel and feedback from the brakes compared to what it is like right now. That could be because the other bike I ride frequently is a Ducati Monster, which is equipped with braided steel brake hoses, and this is equipped with rubber hoses from the factories. So putting on some braided steel hoses will fix this issue, hopefully. So that will be one of the things that I'd like to have in this bike later on in the future. So there you go, those are the 6 things I don't really like about this bike so far. They're a little annoying, they're not big things. Like about the buttons, I'm just being nitpicky, but you know, if I had to list some stuff, those are the 6 things I could find so far. There you go. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any comments, please comment in the comment section below. Click like and subscribe. I'll see you again another time. Ride safe. If you've been reading on comments about the CB650R from other owners, that they might have mentioned that the screen brightness is not bright enough in comparison to those you get from other bikes, such as the newer Ducatis and as well as the Kawasaki's as well. So Kawasaki makes really good screens, really good brightness, really effective for you to see whatever information is required on the screen. And the brightness of the screen on this bike is not enough, especially when you have the sunlight behind you. But for me, I find this screen good enough, and I could definitely see how fast I'm going, what gear I'm in. The other thing that some other owners might have highlighted is the rusty hose clips. The clips that hold the radiator hoses together get rusty easily. Mine are still okay, so I'll leave that out of my list of things that I find annoying about this bike. Hopefully that's okay. So I'll stick to the 6 things I explained earlier. So those are the things that didn't make it to the list of things that I find annoying.